So, hey everyone, Pedro here, and I'm here with my friend Will Zhang. We're here to talk about hiring. Now, I'm an IT recruiter, and typically my clients come to me to find senior resources with a very specialized skill set. So I'll probably focus on that. Will, what kind of hiring do you typically do?
Yeah, so a brief introduction about our company, Fintelics. It's an emerging technology solution firm. We like to think of ourselves as a modern software development lighthouse. We like to onboard some of the cutting edge technology like AI, blockchain, cloud computing, and develop prototype or like production grade solutions for our clients, as well as adopting some of the modern coding practice, some of the technical training in the technology industry, like for instance DevOps, for instance omnichannel software, and etc. Right?
So correct me if I'm wrong, Will. Here's how I imagine things working with you and Fintelics. So you guys have a client who is looking to build out a new practice, let's say a DevOps practice.
Right.
And you say, at Fintelics, we create these curriculums that teach people, junior level coders or intermediate level, however they come, we teach them how to do DevOps. And then after they graduate, we put them into your business, and then you can hire them later on a full-time basis. Is that kind of how it works, or?
So that is one way how we approach the engagement. Usually we sometimes provide part of the training curriculum to kind of have people train within this curriculum, and usually they accelerate very quickly. And there's two other models where we either have in-house project team working on projects directly, or we have dedicated consultants that will be deployed onto the client side.
So some of the main things are kind of like, we're looking to build out a new line of business or do something, we need new blood, we need new people in here. You can train new people, put them in there.
Yeah,
Secondly,
like
we have a group of people, we'd like to upskill them with something new, like a brand new cutting edge technology.
Right.
You can take their already internal employees, upskill them, they're right back in the business doing what they were doing. Or if they just need a little staff augmentation, they need a very senior guy with this guy or girl with a cutting edge technology to come in, show the way to the team. You guys do that as well.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the high value stuff for whoever's watching this.
Right.
So let's say you have two people come into the office.
Sure.
One has been doing DevOps activities for the past 3 years. Before that, they were a full stack developer.
Okay.
The other one comes in, they've been doing DevOps activities for the past 4 years. Before that, same amount of time being a full stack developer. What are the differences, maybe attitude-wise, that are going to affect your hiring one or over the other? Two equal candidates, skill set-wise, so same amount of DevOps experience, and before that they were doing full-stack development.
Okay.
So very similar activities, experiences, and skills.
Right.
So imagine them as being clones,
Right.
but they have different personalities, different intangibles,
Do they
things
have
like attitude,
do they have
determination.
even exactly the same appearances? Yeah.
Appearance shouldn't factor into it.
Okay, so they're twins. But,
They're twins.
But they have different energy.
But they don't know each other.
Right. Okay.
Twins that were lost at birth.
Okay.
Who just so happened through their genetics to want to work at Fintelics.
Okay.
Not knowing it.
Gotcha.
So they're in two separate rooms.
You gotta understand the situation. To get the full grasp.
Without
of
context, you cannot make a decision.
Exactly.
I respect that.
Exactly.
All right. So you have two twins who were separated at birth.
Right. Okay.
Same experience. They've
Right.
gone down the exact same career path, but they have two different personalities.
Got it. Okay.
What are the intangibles that would make you hire one person over another who had those two people have the same skill set?
So that's actually a very valuable question. You're saying a clone of each other, so we know that their competency, their capability, their talent
All the same.
is all the same, right? Yeah. So the ability for them to learn things is almost exactly the same. So I think in this case, the deciding factor I would say is the attitude, right? I'm a firm believer of the fact that your growing speed, like how fast you're able to accelerate from point A to point B in your professional career, is dependent on your talent multiplied by your attitude. So let's say a person that's really smart, really intelligent, but he's not really willing to learn. That person will likely not be able to improve himself or herself as much as someone who is really eager to learn but has less experience or less less capable of picking out new things.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I've experienced in my career. Like we've hired candidates, and brought them on board, and we observe how fast they are able to improve themselves and picking up new things and adapt to new environments.
Yeah.
And that's typically what we find.
On that topic, one thing I find interesting is oftentimes because I deal with a lot of different clients. Sometimes they want a 6-month consultant to come in, hammer out an implementation.
Sure.
Sometimes they want somebody on a software engineering manager level to come in and sort of mentor their team and be there for a long time.
Right.
In the consultant sort of jobs that are short term, the people who are hiring tend to care more about what do they already know.
Right.
In the jobs where they're going to hire them full time, it's less about what do they already know and what potential do they have to learn a lot more. And it kind of relates to what you're saying.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is like for short term engagements, it's just like, have you used this version of Angular?
Right.
Have you done this, and that? Because they only want you for 6 months.
Correct.
They want you for
Correct.
one specific thing. They don't really care about your potential beyond doing this thing. But when
Right.
you're looking for a full-time hire, somebody to bring into the team, somebody to lead junior developers, then you start thinking like, they start asking me in my screening process to ask questions like, are they active on like taking stuff from Stack Overflow? Do they have their own GitHub? Are they like reading forums? Are they always trying to upskill?
Right.
So it's funny, depending on the job requirement, you kind of
Udemy.
care about, yeah.
Yeah, Udemy, like, does he spend his spare time on Udemy?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Udemy is honestly like the newspaper for developer community nowadays. If you're not on Udemy, you should get on that stuff. Get on that stuff, yeah.
So if I am a developer who wants to upskill quickly,
Correct.
would Udemy be the best place to go take courses? Coming from a solution architect who's young, constantly upskilling, thriving.
I personally believe so. If you already have knowledge in that particular skill set that you're specializing in, it's fine. You probably don't need any additional resources, any courses, right? But if you want to pick up a new skill set, and if you want to do it affordably and quickly, the best channel is Udemy. There's other platforms like Coursera or Udacity, other channels like that. But I find Udemy is in my personal opinion, my personal experience, more effective. Going back to what you were saying, yes, totally agree, man. Like full-time versus consultants is just that difference. Because for consultants, they're there to solve a problem, they're there to put out a fire. They're there to just deliver value short term. And whereas if you're thinking about full-time employees, that's typically a long-term investment that you're thinking about. So with our engagement model, with our business model, we almost only hire full-time employees for that reason. It's because we want to sort of incubate that talent.
We have
right?
a pizza coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Well, one last thing that I just wanted to give anybody. Because it's one thing to say like, I'm self-motivated and I'm a hard worker.
Sure.
But what's like one thing that a person could say that gives you a clue that they are a person with a good attitude? Maybe what's one question in an interview that somebody would ask you that makes you think, you know what, damn, this person's like a problem solver. This person's got the right attitude.
It's really in the moment, right? Like if you ask some question that's related to a question I asked, that's natural. I came from a background related to performance arts, right? I used to be a magician, right?
Yeah.
So what the most real improvisation always comes naturally. It's harder to say a particular question, but I think some question that really give me a really good impression is the candidate asks about what the company is trying to accomplish in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of developers are focused on like a particular technical aspect, they forget to see the big picture.
Sure.
Right? I think when you're just getting into the tech industry, obviously you want to focus on the technical skill set in order to meet the business, the basic fundamental technical requirement in order to get the job. But what's more important is how much are you seeing this business. If you're able to meet the technical requirement and you're able to see the entire business like from a business perspective and reflect back to your technical competency, I think that's much more value than just able to solve a problem or write code, right?
Do you like a junior developer who's already trying to see things like an architect?
If he's technically competent, yes.
So if you don't like a junior developer who still hasn't finished the coding that he needs to do and is already asking questions about the architecture, but you love a guy who pounds out the code properly, writes elegant code, and then saves some time to bring up the architecture.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think I like someone who is humble and hardworking, doing the groundwork, and has the ambition to become an architect.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I hope some of those nuggets are tasty for everyone, and I'm sure we'll be back with something else sometime soon.
Yeah, and if it's not tasty, it's your own fault.
Yeah, exactly. Order pizza like we did.